Hello everybody, and thank you so much for watching. Before we get into anything, I just want to remind you guys about the last video I had posted right before this one. It's my giveaway. It's out until November 30th, so you have lots of chances to apply, and there's more than one way to enter. So maybe before you watch this video, go watch that video and follow the rules, and maybe you'll win a free bag of amazing makeup. Today's tutorial is just kind of 70s inspired. It just kind of happened as a fluke. I got a new curling iron. I was practicing curling my hair outwards and it turned into like this Farrah Fawcett-y hair, and my hair never does anything, so I was very excited that this worked. It was a Hot Tools gold curling iron. It heated up really fast. Anyway, this kind of spiraled into, I want to do some 70s makeup and see if it goes with my hair, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So this look is inspired from kind of like the Farrah Fawcett's and the disco era. It's lots of fun color, there's glitter, there's pastel, everything was pastel in the 70s. Nice natural brows that were growing out and the nice flippity flop hair. So I really love the 70s. I've been listening to, you know, classic rock lately, lots of Rolling Stones and stuff like that. So I don't know, it was just in me. I had to do it. Anyway, so if you'd like to find out how I did everything, just keep watching. Okay guys, so I already have my concealer on. This isn't Halloween. I didn't want to scare you, so it's on and taken care of. Okay, so we're going to start out with Mario Badescu's skin spray. So go ahead and spritz yourself. So now that we've spritzed, we're going to put on a little bit of primer. This is the Lise Watier one in Base Miracle. And this is just going to help keep the makeup on nice and smooth. You're going to put it all over your skin. Next, I'm going to take this Joyer foundation. It's super sheer and it's going to give a very natural effect. Make sure when blending this foundation in that you get around the nostrils and any areas that have a little bit of redness. You want to make sure you rub all the way into the hairline whenever you do foundation with your fingers and pull it all the way down onto your neck. Okay, now that your foundation's on, go ahead and set everything with an HD powder. I like this one by Makeup Forever. I'm gonna actually go right into contouring and doing cheeks for this look. In the 70s, cheeks were really not defined that much. It wasn't really that strong contoured look like it was in the 80s and even nowadays that you see it coming back. So it was a lot more softer. The face was super round and pretty, but there was a lot of color on the cheeks. So it was like a pink cheek with just softness all the way around, if that makes sense. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm gonna use a little bit of cream blush. This is Pink Cashmere by Youngblood. And this is just going to help give off more of a dewy look, very accurate to the era. And you're just going to blend it in with two fingers and you'll see how it kind of just gives a really nice subtle look. Now we're going to pump this up with a powder blush on top to make it stand out a little bit more. Go ahead and choose a bubblegum pink blush like this one over here in the corner. And you're just going to tap it, smile, and really keep that cheek round. You don't want to angle this off or pull it back into your hairline. The 70s were all about really soft, round, rosy cheeks. Now I am going to contour just a little bit using a bronzer. However, instead of using like an angle brush like this, I'm actually going to go ahead and use my rounded blush brush just to kind of soften the edges here and give myself a little bit of color so it'll look good in the photos I'll take for my blog later. And but yeah, you don't need to be too angular. You can kind of see that I'm doing a C shape under here. I'm kind of just rubbing it into my gross sideburn there and getting it all in there. Now I'm going to go back to the face after our eyes and our lips are done and do a little bit of touching up. But right now we're going to go straight to the eyes. I'm going to start by priming my eyes. I mean, could you imagine not priming your eyes and putting eyeshadow on? They must have had a heck of a time in those disco days keeping all that glitter on. We're going to do a pale green look all the way around the eye. The 70s were all about very frosty, shimmery looks around on the eyes. Lots of frost, no matte whatsoever, very in your face, but the washes were very pastel-y. There was a lot of like pale pinks, lilacs, and greens. So I'm going to go with a pastel green. This is Horseradish by NYX. As you can see, it's a perfectly pastel green, perfect for this look. I'm just going to use it all over the eye, and this is just going to be mainly for the color to pop out. You'll see also that I'm lining underneath the eye, and you can go ahead and blend this in a little with your finger, and it's okay to go ahead and smear this upward and outward. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and use the lightest shimmery pale champagne color right here. I'm going to put that all over my brow bone and on the inner corners of my eyes. When doing this, I find that just kind of brushing the brush back and forth in this way and smushing the ends really helps to get that frost all the way on the inner corner. And then just lightly pull out onto the cheekbone, just slightly. I am now going to take a fluffy brush with this color right here. This is kind of a matte in-between color. It's one of those colors that's like ugly in the pop, but it looks great in the crease and it helps to blend other colors. I'm going to use it with the fluffy brush and just go on the inside in the crease here and really fluff it out. Go in little circles like I'm doing and then go back and forth, back and forth. This is just going to help create dimension so that the look isn't so flat. It will look more 3D, if you will. Now what we're going to do is layer a green pigment that is the same color on top of the pastel and really just push it out like underneath the eye as well as on top. This is the pigment that we'll be using. But it's a beautiful kind of lemongrass color that I really like. I like the texture too because it is shimmery, but it grabs onto the skin really well. And you just want to tap this on. You can use your fluffy brush for this. Now I'm going to pick an even frostier, lighter green to go on top of the darker green pigment. I'm going to take this lemony green color right here and go underneath where the pencil is on the bottom here. You can just continue to add just shimmering greens and layers of it to create that really strong pastel look. So the 70s eyebrow is very full, but not hairy, if that makes sense. So it's not like the 80s where, you know, Madonna or whoever was growing their brow hairs out to here. It's still groomed, but women were definitely a lot more natural. There was the whole hippie movement, so people were letting their brows grow out. So what I'm going to do is actually fill in my eye with the lighter shade here, something lighter than I would normally wear, and just kind of fill it all in and really not extend. And I did groom my brow hairs for this so that they wouldn't be too long. So another classic 70s kind of look is the whole white on the inside of the eye thing. So we're just going to take an ivory cream and really just fill in that whole area. It's going to give you a wider-eyed look. You can go ahead and brush on a little bit of this pencil on the inner corner to kind of brighten things up there. And then what I'm going to do, instead of doing a really strong black line, which is what I'm kind of used to doing on the daily basis, I'm going to take actually a brown liner and really just line very fairly. This is only so that the lashes has something to stay on. I'm actually going to go over it with a green pencil just to kind of help it to blend into the rest of the theme here. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply regular mascara, and I'll be right back. So we're also going to be applying mascara to the bottom lid. You really want to kind of show your bottom lashes who's boss. Really kind of chunk them up and get them to show up, because this look is all about the doe eyes and the disco ball era. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Now these ones are from MAC. They're the number 35s. I love these lashes because they're kind of big and fat in the middle, and then they get smaller on each side, so it really helps to open up that eyeball and make it pop. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here, let it dry down, and then adhere it to my eyeball. Normally I do use black drying lash glue, but for this I'm using clear drying because I really don't have a strong black line for this lash to set on. So it's actually a lot easier to work with because it dries down clear. You can make as many mistakes as you want with clear lash glue. It's fantastic. So we're just going to place the middle on first and then touch down on the ends, and you'll still have a little bit of time to really adjust and get it to stay where you want before it dries down. I like to wait for the glue to be a little bit tacky. That usually helps. And then that little bit of white that you see will actually dry down clear, so it'll go away in a few minutes. Alright, now for the fun part, the glitter. I am using light green glitter by MAC just because it kind of just went with the eyeshadow colors. If you were to do this look with purple, then purple glitter would be great. I like to stick to lighter colors of glitter on the eye or else they kind of start to flake off and look like little mascara flakies everywhere. So just stick to something light and you'll be fine. Actually just going to add this to the inner corner here. And you can be a little messy with this. I mean, you know, people in the disco era just really didn't care too much about preciseness, I should say. It was more about just having fun and, you know, singing along to those tunes. And I'm going ahead and putting just a tiny bit on the inner corner here as well. Now if you do get any glitter fallout on the ends here, you can just use a brush to brush them away. Now with the fancy eyes done, we're going to move on to lips. The lips are also going to be a super pastel-y color, really bubblegum pinky. What I like to do with pale colors like that is to kind of line my lips in a very natural, almost skin tone shade, and then I go over it with the color so that it doesn't look super flat and my lips kind of look three-dimensional. Now I'm going to use this really fun, bright, peachy pink lip liner just to kind of fill in. And I am going to be mixing MAC's Myth lipstick with MAC's Saint Germain. You can see these are two really bright, pop off the skin type of colors. So we'll start with Myth. Nice and dry. Okay, and then we're going to start with a creamier Saint Germain. This will give that pink pop that we're looking for. Okay, so the very last thing we're going to do for this look is get some of Melanie Mills' Gleam. This is a body lotion, but I'm actually just going to use a little bit on my cheekbones to give myself some color. I believe this is the rose gold. As you can see, it's a really, really pretty shimmer shade. I'm just going to use 2 fingers, blend that out, and then really just touch certain little areas here with my fingers. And kind of smooth down the nose and a little bit on the forehead here. That's just going to give an extra little glow. I hope you guys like this look. This was really fun. If you'd like, I'd love to do other decades for you. We can start with like the 50s, go to the 60s, and then skip on over to the 80s and the 90s. I've got some really, really cool ideas. So if you'd like to see a certain decade, just comment me below, let me know, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Okay, take care. Bye.